With the PlayStation 5 right around the corner, I thought it'd be good to take some time today to talk about some really awesome games to play for the PS4. Kind of get you prepped for the next gen. Here are 4 must-plays from the PlayStation 4. Let's go. It's a great day on the internet, everybody. Welcome to Assemble. I'm Matt. How are you? Welcome to the Gaming Hub. Today, what we're talking about is that we are talking about 4 awesome games to play on your PlayStation 4 to get you ready, get you in the mood, and get you excited for next gen. Now, this is not going to be a ranking. They're in no particular order. They're just 4 awesome games from the console generation from PlayStation that we thought it'd be important and be fun to just be able to deep dive. If you guys are new to the show, I'd love it if you would subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get updates on the content that we do every single week. Because if you're into gaming and nerdy stuff like this, then we have tons of stuff and maybe this is the place for you. So hopefully you guys can join us in the comments below and let me know some of your absolute favorite games from this past generation. First title that we want to talk about, Uncharted Lost Legacy. Coming out in 2017, Uncharted Lost Legacy takes on the story points and the beats from secondary characters and a spin-off essentially from the Uncharted mainline story. And what we're getting is an amazing story focusing on 2 female characters, Chloe and Nadine, and we're getting the help as well from Samuel Drake, voiced by Troy Baker. And what we're getting is this amazing bite-sized version of Uncharted condensed down into an 8-hour story that allows you to really sink your teeth in and enjoy and get those action-packed moments that you enjoy so much from Uncharted, from the mainline stories that we gotten from that series over the years. Lost Legacy is focusing on Chloe and Nadine as they start off as being against each other and formally coming together to be able to take on their actual nemesis and do the relic hunting and taking on the big bad guy and villain of the series, Asaf. It takes home all of the key elements that we love so much from Uncharted with Nathan Drake. You get to experience Nadine as a newer character and one that we weren't as familiar with, but actually really be able to deep dive into her story, her motivations, and what makes her an amazing character to this entire franchise. And being able to play as Chloe, someone that a lot of us from Uncharted 2 that we absolutely love and adored, and we're very excited to have this. I really love this game because of not only being able to have that feel of Uncharted, getting it in a more compact, shorter story actually works. It is a full-fledged game. There was always a lot of talk about, does this game count as its own standalone? It was already costing less than a traditional Uncharted game, but for something that is focused on the quality of Naughty Dog, that is giving you that amazing next level experience, that blockbuster story, this is a must-have in your PlayStation collection, and it's definitely a must-play today. Next up on the list that we're going to talk about, Last of Us Remastered. Last of Us came out, the original one came out on the PlayStation 3, and right around the time when the PS4 was about to be announced, and shortly thereafter, we ended up getting the remastered edition of this game. This is one of the, if not the cornerstone game when it comes to the PlayStation franchise overall. Joel and Ellie are cemented in the legacy of PlayStation, in my opinion, as being 2 amazing characters that are flushed out, that are backed by amazing storytelling, amazing, incredible voice acting, and led by the Naughty Dog team to create this entire universe and these cast of characters that we absolutely adore and that we bite of the chomp whenever we can get a little bit of news. And having this game remastered on the PlayStation 4 was able to show off what that system was able to do at the time, being able to let you relive those experiences if you had already done it on the PlayStation 3 like me, but allow you to just sink yourself into that world. It's a must play, guys. There's not much we need to talk about in terms of the full story, but following these 2 in their journey, going through the tribulations, the trials, the high intensity moments, the loving, caring moments that story has to offer to make you angry and confused and cry and care about every single moment. I put this on this list because it is a game that I had to put on repeat. Playing this story all the way through, playing it again, increasing the difficulty and playing it a 3rd time and a 4th time. And as a game where I just want to be able to experience sometimes just the story itself, taking it as almost a cinematic experience in a video game, it's something that I continuously come back to even today. It's worth your time. If you haven't completed all of Last of Us and you're looking at it as coming from the Xbox lineup and you're saying, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5, it's something you need to be able to go back and experience. It holds up today, the remastered elements are fantastic, and it's something that you can't be disappointed in. Number 3 on this list, we're going to shift gears a little bit actually, and we're going to take something that's a little bit more lighthearted, and it's actually very lighthearted, and it's very fun. Everybody's Golf. Yeah, might throw you off. No, I don't have other giant AAA titles on here, guys. I want to be able to highlight some of the other games that stand out for us across the board in a generation. And Everybody's Golf is a game that I tend to really love to go back to. It's happy, it's vibrant. SIE Japan Studios did an incredible job of putting this game together. It was nominated for several awards during its time. It's a must play and a must have if you enjoy having any type of animated golf game, something to be able to play with your friends, play online, customize your character the way you want to, and overall have fun in an entire universe and game itself. It's really, really fun. The actual golf mechanics, the core gameplay itself, is incredible. If you care anything about golf games or being able to play games like Hot Shots Golf, this is a game for you because the actual accuracy, the ball physics, everything, it's tight. It plays very, very tight. It is a fun animated game that you want to be able to get your hands on. It's pick up and play for an hour, play with your friends online, get all of the avatars and the characters and the customizations that what you want and make it your own. Everybody's Golf has a long legacy when it comes to PlayStation putting other games over the past decades, but this version of Everybody's Golf took me by surprise because I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It was something that I got on my PlayStation as I download digital, and I thought I'm going to give this a shot. So many friends in the community at the time were raving about just how much fun they had and how much they wanted to keep playing, keep jumping into that world and just having a blast with those characters. If you need something lighthearted, something that almost has a palate cleanser from playing these really, really intense story narrative driven games, Everybody's Golf might be for you. It's coming in for the third game of our must play out of 4. Now, what kind of man am I when you look around in this place and this whole shenanigans that I've got going on, and you can't tell me that this guy does not enjoy Spider-Man quite a bit. So guess what? I have to do it. Spider-Man for the PlayStation 4 is coming in on this list. One, because I am a diehard Spider-Man fan and I could talk endlessly about this game and the franchise and how excited I am for getting the remastered version, the up-res version on PlayStation 5 and being able to experience the Miles Morales game as well. Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4 was something that I waited for an entire generation. We had previous Spider-Man titles and we've had some really fun ones, we've had some good ones, we've had some terrible ones. And knowing how great this game seemed like it was going to be, I was still taken over the top. What blew me away, and if you have not experienced it because you've played on another console for a generation and you haven't been able to experience Spider-Man, it blew me away as a die-hard Spider-Man fan and Marvel fan. The initial moments of that game, where it sets the stage for what the game is going to feel like, from the sound, the musical score that they bring into that, where you start off in that game, and you guys know what I'm talking about when you played it. The moments of web slinging in that game at the beginning, I was in awe. I genuinely was impressed with the video game and taken back by just the quality, care, and attention to detail from every single motion they do, from having him web sling to Spider-Man having different levels of audio where they actually recorded 2 different levels of audio tracks. One where it is Spider-Man Peter just speaking normally, and one where he is in motion and where he is talking to say Mary Jane, but it's him moving around and web slinging, and you get that sense of him moving and urgency. The attention to detail with the villains, the characters, the story they developed within that game. For me, it's always been a 10 out of 10. I replay it, and that's one of the biggest things for me is it a game that I go back to? And the ones that we've listed today are just that. They're games that I love, and they're games that I go back to for the PlayStation 4 generation. And Spider-Man has to be on that list, and it will always be probably my number 1 or number 2 on my all-time favorite list of games to play, because it is something that I love to be able to go into that universe, to be able to change my costumes. You get to upgrade your character, and you get to enjoy and experience being Spider-Man. And for the first time for me, I felt like I was actually playing as Spider-Man, where they nailed every single aspect of that character when it comes to how he moves and with combat and fluidity. It was a purely awesome experience. Anyways, guys, that wraps up today's episode in the Gaming Hub, covering 4 must-play titles on the PlayStation 4. What are 4 games that you absolutely love to play or want to play when you're coming over to the PlayStation 5? Some games that maybe you missed out on? Were any of these games on your list? Let me know in the comments below. Hope you guys can continue watching and check out our shows later this week. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, thank you guys for assembling with us. See ya.